Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Truth Bomb shows, Truth Bombs with Kornelia, Stephanie, and Dr. Brook Sheehan today. Welcome, Dr. Brook.
Thank you. Thank you. So happy to be here. I love Thursday mornings. I love doing this show with you. And, just we're hearing some amazing feedback. So keep it coming, whether you agree or whether you don't. That's the fun part of being part of, this human existence with everybody is we all have different viewpoints and beliefs and gifts and talents. And, the uniqueness of each and every one of us is a beautiful thing. So really happy to be here this morning, Kornelia.
So excited to be here, too. This is episode 5. Can you believe it already?
Wild.
Right? Truth Bombs and Coffee, episode 5. And when Brooke and I, Dr. Brooke and I first came on to do this podcast, we wanted to talk about what's going on in the world today from our viewpoint, and then share that experience with you and those people that are just coming onto the scene to learn about basically us as individuals, and then also about this podcast. We're just here to share our truth from our perspective, and offer another point of view. And certainly from where I know that both of us are coming from is from a state of love, and that is always first and foremost. And also, I am a bridge builder, right? Building bridges, and I know that you are too, Dr. Brooks. So building bridges, allowing people to have their viewpoint, and then offering another opportunity for you possibly to walk over the bridge and have a different perspective as well, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, just like you put it, building a bridge, being able to walk across a bridge. We mentioned last week, you don't have to be, watching the news or not watching the news to realize how much division is happening in our planet, in our world, not even just in the United States, but across the globe, division everywhere. And by building those bridges and connecting and working with, or being with each other, regardless of if the viewpoints are the same, is a beautiful thing. And I love the work that you and I are doing, and I love the work, the overall expanding consciousness of people that are saying, I just have to quickly mention, I saw this meme and I thought it was so amazing, and it was like, if you're vaxed, I love you. If you're unvaxed, I love you. And isn't that such the message that we are attempting to share here? Is, look, this is all from a state of love. This is who we are, and we accept you.
Yeah, I want to also, stress by saying that, this show isn't about being vaccinated and not vaccinated.
Right.
That's not what it is about, right? It just so happens that we're talking about it a lot, and we're talking about it a lot because that seems to be, the situations playing out with the divisions that you're talking about,
Yeah.
keeping people separate from each other, relationships dissolving, partnerships ending, because of that type of, because of that narrative that's playing out. And so that's not the right way to go. That is not the right way to go. The right way to go is to heal the separation, no matter what skin color you are, no matter what your religious beliefs are, no matter if you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, no matter what your sexual, preference is. It doesn't matter, because what matters is the unique individual that is you, and that you are accepted 100% unconditionally by source energy, by God, and so by me and by you.
Right.
Who are we? Who are we to, cast judgment upon other people? I think, part of what's happening right now in the state of the world, that the way that the world, what's happening. I posted this meme on my Facebook that I saw somebody else shared on their Facebook, and I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome. Let me grab that. What it was, you have to go check it out. You have to go see it. It's really amazing when you see the Statue of Liberty being
Mm-hmm.
literally underwater, pretty much all the way up to, and then
The
the
flame or yeah.
scepter, or however
Yes.
that
Yes.
right, and that pretty much is out, but pretty much everything is underwater. When you're looking at what is the water is about, it's all that emotion that,
Mm.
because water is emotion. Our
Mhm.
bodies, as you know, are made
Mhm.
of 80% water. And
Mhm.
so part of the way that we heal ourselves and our body and our bodies is through the emotional wholeness and equilibrium and balance and restoring harmony back into the body. But so here's the Statue of Liberty underwater. And somebody in Europe posted that meme. And basically, what they said on the top, it said, uh, all of Europe is watching America.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you see what I mean? I got the chills again.
I was just about to say that. Like, I have the chills as soon as you said that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh
Well,
my
what does
gosh.
America stand for? It's supposed to stand for freedom. It's supposed to stand for freedom of speech. It's supposed to be the place where dreams are made,
Right?
right?
Right? Right?
And look at America is going, in astrology they call it the Pluto return. They call it the dark night of the soul, right? Which also in part of our ascension of living in higher vibrational ways of living and being here
Mhm.
on this planet, moving to the fifth dimension and living in heaven on earth, which is, as you know, I teach and talk about this all the time. And that has to do with claiming our power back and claiming our autonomy and claiming our inner authority back
Mhm.
over where we've
Mhm.
given our power away to, whether it was the government, whether it was the medical system, whether it was the school system, whether it was the monetary system, whether it was the pharmaceutical system. All of those systems all need to be, revamped and are in the process of being revamped
Yes.
as we're going through this dark night of the soul.
Yes, absolutely. Um, oh my gosh, I'm like, wow, there's so much to say and so much going on and like I don't even know if I have the words to convey what you said when, all of Europe is watching and the foundational, truth or the foundational stuff that America was founded on, right? You talked about freedoms and we've given our powers to all of these different things and we've given our, you know, whole entire embodiment of who we are to somebody else outside of us to make those decisions for us rather than working on returning inwardly to who we are. And that, for all of you out there that are listening, that's one of the big things Kornelia and I are doing with this show is to really help people look inward and tune in inward. Like my premise of the work that I do is really understanding that your body is constantly communicating and it's constantly communicating internally with all of its different organs, right? The liver talking to the stomach and so on. But bigger picture, it's communicating to us as individuals and telling us specifically what it needs to do its job, what it needs to do, what it needs to function appropriately. It's by design able to do all of these things, able to fight viruses and bacterias and parasites and doing all of these things. But sometimes we're constantly, looking for the big man or the big woman or somebody out there, some, corporate official to tell us, no, you need to be eating X or you need to be doing this. And if you look back in history, and I'm going to speak a little bit more on the health realm, health and food realm, because that's kind of where I
Specialize where you,
live a lot of times.
yeah.
But if you look back, back in the day, it was, don't eat butter, don't eat, saturated fats, don't do this. You're getting high cholesterol, you're getting heart disease, you're doing all this stuff. New research has come out even more recently to show that that isn't true. That if you have elevated numbers of good cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, you can use that to kind of balance out the low density lipoproteins, which is LDL cholesterol, by simply eating, good butter, good fats, good things. Like, fat is not the enemy. So we're looking, like, to kind of take this full circle with where we're at, it's just understanding that a lot of the information, today's a huge testimony to this, a lot of the information that is put out there on mainstream media, on all of your big, huge media channels, if you really look, and I'm not trying to sit here and be a conspiracy, but look at who owns these companies. Look at who's backing, who's behind. You got to follow that more so than the talking heads that are saying things to you, because there is going to come information, because there's people like us that are bringing this information out that is contrary to what these voices are saying on the TV screen. And so by that, and Kornelia, you can take it from here, but that is really listening to the intuitiveness inside of us and listening to that voice saying, is that the truth? Or is there something more to this picture?
That's so good. I mean, this is the invitation for everybody to
Yeah.
sit with, really finding out. I think by now there's a lot of people that are questioning whether things are true and
Mhm.
whether they're not true. We've been sold so many programs, so many conditions, so many try this diet, do this, do this. And, none of them are working or haven't worked. But when we tune into our own internal guidance and what our bodies is asking for, by listening and really
Mhm.
tuning in and asking your body, what does it want? What does it need? And then start opening those questions. The universe is always conspiring to support you. That's
Mhm.
true. That is absolutely true.
Mhm.
That's a belief to align with. If you don't believe that, that's a really good one to go. I'd like to align with that belief, because when you believe that, and when you know that, all the right resources, all the right people, all the right information, everything shows up for you so that you can be supported. So,
Yeah.
as you know, Dr. Brook, I was traveling. I was coming from Washington State to come to Arizona. There's 2 points I want to make with this, what I'm about to say, because it was one in reference to the diet. So the
Mhm.
place
Mhm.
where I was coming to, the people whose house I'm staying at, they were asking me, what kind of food do I want to have, right? And so
Mhm.
I gave a few examples of what I want, and then I also asked for heavy whipping cream for my coffee, right? So
Yeah.
I also asked for heavy whipping cream with my coffee. And the person then writes back and says to me, uh, "Oh, sorry about that, but we don't do dairy in our household, right? We don't do dairy in our household." And so she apologized, and then I wrote back and I go, "Please don't apologize for your preference on what you do. Please don't apologize, because you know what? I won't apologize for mine either."
Right.
Right? So that was like
Right.
perfect. Don't apologize for what
Ah,
you guys consume and what your body's asking for. And I'm not going to apologize for mine.
right.
And that again speaks to the uniqueness and the preference of, standing up for what it is that you want and what your body likes,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
the other thing is, the people where I'm at, they're night owls, and I'm a early riser, so I go to bed early. I go and I, so, and
Me too.
not apologizing for that, right? And it's being
Right.
that. But the other point that I wanted to make is that I contacted you before I left, and I asked you. I told you that I was looking at a protocol that I wanted to have in my medical toolbox,
Mhm.
so that I can really make sure that I have everything that I need, especially traveling. And with all the different things that are being sold out there, I want to have my medical toolbox. I want to know exactly what I need to take in case I get sick,
Right.
that
Right.
I won't be going to the hospital. In that, I know I will know what to do. And so I asked you to look at this protocol and then design something for me, specifically for me and for my body ecology. Do you want to speak on that?
Yeah. So yeah, that's absolutely true, and you did do that. Not that I think you're lying, or just, want listeners to know that that is something. One of the things, and Cornelia knows, like I call myself the body whisperer, like, and I'm able to communicate to the human body and find out exactly what it's looking for to be able to provide very unique health plans, because the reality is a lot of health out there is very generic, and it's generic to like everybody as a population. But if you're a 5'3", 110-pound woman, or child, or whatever it is, right, you would never be taking the same dose of something that a 200-pound 6-foot male would be taking. So why are we like, and I'm talking about like prescriptions in that case, So why are we approaching supplementation in the same way? Like, why are we, picking up a bottle off the shelf, saying serving size 2, and taking those 2 pills when you're very different? Your body composition, your body's needs are very different than the other person down the street. So, in putting this care plan together, there was, of course, there's a lot of physicians, a lot of physicians that are on the other side of the fence in this whole scenario. You have doctors that are very pro, and you have a lot of doctors that have shared a lot of information with people and with certain protocols. And if you have mild symptoms, do this preventatively, take this, and all of it is great. There's 5 or 6 different supplements, nutritional supplements, that are being recommended. And recommended is I use it lightly, because recommended is like you recommending a great restaurant to me. Like, I have the choice to actually go to that restaurant, but it's not, I don't have to go, right, to have this amazing dinner. I can go somewhere else. Well, these recommendations are great, but they don't take in the personalization aspect of who you are. And your body might actually show up for something different. So, Cornelia, I don't know how much, or I don't know if you mind me sharing about can I share about the magnesium?
No, you can share about it, but I just want to say that again, we're modeling with this conversation that Dr. Brook, she is my person that is my health advisor, and that's where I go and to because I'm the authority over my body, and I
Yeah.
listen to what I need. So when my intuitive guidance said, "Hey, I want you to get a toolkit together for having this on hand," Dr. Brook didn't come to me and say, "Hey, you need to get this toolkit together." I'm the one that came up with that idea, and then I contacted her and said, "Hey, can you help me put together a protocol, something that I have in my medical toolkit? If I ever get sick, that I know exactly what I need to take." And so that's the conversation. I want to show that what when we are uniquely listening to our body and our internal guidance, how then we can use our advocates like yourself and
Mhm.
advisors that are here to support us for that specialized service.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's a great point. I don't need to go more into it, other than exactly, Cornelia was in tune with herself, recognized that, hey, this is something I would like to have on hand, put a customization plan together.
Yeah. So
So,
you want to say something about the magnesium, but
well,
before yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No, 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 go.
Well, I was going to say that we do have we have a chat. We have a person in the chat today. Welcome, Trish Campbell. Thank you so much for being in the chat. This is our first chat live. So that's awesome. Trish was saying that she is loving this conversation. Yes, please don't apologize for honoring what you want for your body, and I won't either. That is
Yes.
good. And so don't apologize for it. There's no need to apologize. So thank you.
That that is so true. We're not apologizing for the oxygen we breathe in. Like,
There's no apology.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Don't apologize for being a late night owl. Don't apologize for getting up early. There's no need to apologize to be uniquely you in your preference.
Amen.
That's what makes you the individual, and that's what makes you you. And that is what we want, right? We
Yeah.
want you
Yeah.
to be who you are, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, is the uniqueness and loving people, whether they're a night owl or an early, riser, or a non-dairy household or a dairy household. It's loving people despite that. Right. So,
That's it.
that's
Yeah.
what the world needs more of, is honestly, like, we need a lot of love in the world right now.
Yeah, and we're demonstrating that. So you
Yes.
were going to say something about the magnesium that.
Oh,
Um,
I just wanted to say, because this was, it was interesting for me, like, as a practitioner and working with you, that part of your individualized toolkit, a magnesium supplement showed up, which, if any of, well, I'll just kind of give a little synapse. Magnesium, every single, like, gram of sugar intake that you take in, right? You use 50, like 50 molecules of magnesium for that one sugar. So 50 magnesium to that one sugar. So that's one of the things that I'm always telling patients and people is, if you feel any symptoms coming on, you need to cut sugar out completely. That's fruit. That's all sorts of different
that's
kinds of
number
sugar.
one, isn't it?
Number one, cut sugar out completely. You need more fluids and you need to get rest. Like, so this is not, for those night owls, it's like, maybe try to go to bed like an hour or two earlier, or even just lay in bed and turn on a meditation, or do something to where your body is just relaxed and resting. But in this case, for your particular plan, magnesium showed up, and it was like, okay, cool, one scoop of, this powdered magnesium that you'll have. But then I was like, hey, if any symptoms come on, you're going to need to increase that magnesium. And I'm like, that is so, like, it could have been like, oh, you need to increase your vitamin D, or you need to, but that particular thing, like, I followed what your body was saying and what it was speaking. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's all she needs, is an increased dose of that magnesium to help bring her through that, so her immune system has the best chance at recovering from whatever it might be faced with, right?
That's so powerful. I
It's
mean,
huge.
that's so powerful. It's like, because you were checking in, you
Yes.
were checking in. That This is what makes it so great, is that I was able to call you and say, hey, this is what I need. And then you were checking in.
Yeah.
You checked it in, and then you said, hey, if you get sick, this is what you do.
Yeah.
And now you even shipped it to me here to the location where I am. Which is, that in itself is like, wow, right? With one phone call, that was
Yes.
so powerful. So I
Yeah.
just am so grateful that I have you in my life, and the Body Whisperer, that is my health advocate that supports me so that I can be in my best health. And thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
And there is Nadine. And welcome, ladies. We are loving this. This is so great. Magnesium is lacking in so many people. Thank you for sharing the link with sugar. That's it. This needs to be
Yes.
public knowledge, so that basically, and Dr. Brooks said it, she said that if you are noticing getting sick, cut out all sugar, including fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Very important piece to know, because most people, they think that, oh, if they're eating fruit, it's healthy when it's filled with sugar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of, like, the watermelons and the citrus, and we get caught up in the whole idea that high in vitamin C and that, which is fine, but one of the supplementation, or one of the supplements you will be taking, is vitamin C. So you don't need to be including oranges and all that kind of stuff and getting excess sugar in your diet when your body is not feeling well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm so
Oh, yeah.
loving. This is so great. Yes, I never knew that was sugar. And well, and even the place where I came here right now, they have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fruit here. And so, and I'm not used to eating a lot of fruit, but this is what they do. So, and there's, again, coming back to that individual preference, is accepting everyone where they are and loving them.
Absolutely.
So, and I love
Absolutely.
that our ladies are chiming in and in the chat. This is so great. You guys can always come back here every Thursday, except for next Thursday. We're not going to be here, but normally on Thursdays we're here, and you can either find me on this page or you can find us on Dr. Brooks' page when we do this podcast on Thursday mornings. And Nadine, I know you are in England, and it's probably like 5:30 there now. So, but I wanted to say thank you for coming on. We have about 5 minutes left. Two things I want to finish with.
Mm-hmm.
For those people that are looking for someone like Dr. Brook in their life that would support you in claiming your health, or any type of telehealth visits, Dr. Brook, do you want to share your information here with us?
Yeah, sure. Just connect with me, Dr.Brook Sheehan, Drbrook, Sheehan, Sheehan. You can connect with me there. Shoot me an email. We can kind of connect and talk further about that. Ideally, what I do, and I apologize if there's a lot of background noise, my housekeeper's here. But really what I do is I set up a free complimentary call with you to kind of go over your health assessment and what either your health challenge or what you're looking to improve in your life health-wise. I work, with the physical, the spiritual, emotional, and mental. A lot of the emotional stuff that comes up, that's Kornelia's bread and butter, and she's amazing at that. And it's been awesome getting to refer people to her for the emotional stuff that people really have embedded, because emotions, show up physically in the body. So I do telehealth work like that to stay back on track, or to get back on track. And so just reach out to me with that.
Yeah, you can reach out to Dr. Brook. You can reach out to me, and I'll connect you with her as well. And for those people that are experiencing severe trauma right now, if you're looking for a trauma therapist, or you're looking for a spiritual mentor or a spiritual coach, feel free to contact me, because that's the thing that I specialize in helping people experience that emotional wholeness from a place of knowing that we cannot transcend anything emotionally unless we're willing to take a look at it and sit with what is there. And I know there's a lot of pain that is being looked at right now. People's lives are changing, but I can tell you that having faced so much trauma in my own life and helped so many other people in their lives with the emotional healing and wholeness and equilibrium, that when we come back to our emotional truth, our emotional honesty, that's truly where we begin to start living our next best life. And so feel free to contact me. You can text me at 360-941-5783. You can text me, or you can private message me on Facebook. And I would be more than happy to also give you a free discovery call. So we are finishing off. Let's see. We had one more share here. And Trish says, I highly recommend working with Dr. Brook to get to the root of any health challenges and clear the body in a way that maybe other methods haven't been able to.
Oh, thank you, Trish. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is really awesome what we're putting out there. So thank you so much, Dr. Brook, for coming on today. As always, love working with you, love chatting with you.
Absolutely. Stay safe out there, Kornelia. And we will be back in 2 weeks. And as we always mention in closing and throughout the show, if this is a conversation you want to be a part of, as we're kind of building upon this, we would love to bring you in as, a special guest, and you can share your insights and, your truths also. So.
Yeah. Trish Campbell, we should have you on as a special guest, and Nadine, you should come also.
Absolutely.
So
that'd be awesome.
Okay. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you
soon.
Bye.